Mike Huckabee held a pro-Kim Davis rally yesterday to throw support behind people who refuse to do their jobs based on their religious beliefs. That sounds lovely, right? Well, during this rally, the former Arkansas governor gushed over her in this interview outside the jail. It was somewhat sickening. Let's watch.
I want to say thanks to Matt Staver, his representation of Kim, but most of all, thanks to this incredibly brave lady who decided that the courage of her convictions was more important than simply even her own freedom. And she was willing to go to jail for what she believed. She has ignited something across this country where people are tired of the tyranny of judicial action that takes people's freedoms away, takes their basic fundamental constitutional rights and puts them in jeopardy, and a tyranny of a legislative court that believes that it can make up law and somehow find a way to enforce it.
Judicial tyranny, right? Making up laws out of nowhere and then enforcing them. Dude, the Supreme Court didn't make up a law. They interpreted the 14th Amendment, the Equal Protection Clause, where everybody is supposed to be treated equally under the law, right? And what's this whole thing about taking their freedoms? Oh, they're taking Christians' freedoms. They're taking our freedoms. No. She was the one who was taking other people's freedom. Nobody was taking her freedom. She's still free to believe what she wants, practice what she wants. She just can't do it on the job. This is dumb, even for Mike Huckabee. All right. Anyway, so now he's going to take a question from a reporter. This is going to be fun. Let's watch.
Governor, the judge has told her that she cannot interfere with the process of handing out these licenses. What do you advise her to do when she returns to work tomorrow?
That's a legal question for her. But I've already told her that if somebody needs to go to jail, I'm willing to go in her place. And I mean that because I'm tired of watching people being just harassed because they believe something of their faith. And we cannot criminalize the Christian faith or anybody's faith in this country. And I'm praying that there will be remedies that do not involve putting someone in jail for their convictions, especially when the issue is whether the courts can just make a law out of thin air and then somehow try to apply it and punish people for not obeying something that isn't even a law.
Wait a minute. So he said the Supreme Court just made up a law out of thin air and then tried to punish them for them being a law. But wait, they didn't make up a law. There are no new laws in the books saying that gay people can get married. Because that was a right they should have originally had. All it is just restoring a right. God, Huckabee's such an idiot. He just doesn't understand. He doesn't understand what the Constitution actually is. Maybe he should stop reading the Bible so much and actually read the Constitution. I'm just saying. That might help. Now, he talks about remedies. Well, there was a remedy for this. Her quitting her job or doing her job. That would have solved the problem. Look, if your faith gets in the way of doing your job, you should either pick a new job or pick a new religion. Now, people will be like, oh my God, how dare you tell people to pick a new religion? That's exactly what I'm telling you. Look, if God gives you lemons, you find a new God. I'm just saying there are plenty out there. Look, this isn't criminalizing the Christian faith. If anyone, look, okay, if anybody else was a county clerk, right, and decided not to marry anybody for any reason, pick one, as long as that couple qualified. So you can have a qualified couple that comes in there and you decide, you know what, I don't like the way you're dressed. I'm not going to marry you. You're not dressed up in a dress. I have my sincerely held religious belief that you should be wearing a dress. I have my sincerely held religious belief that you were once married before and then you got divorced. Well, I don't believe you should get married again, so I'm not going to give you a marriage license. That's exactly the same thing. If another county clerk was doing that, they would get the same treatment as Kim Davis, no matter what religion they were. You can't just deny people rights just because you have a sincerely held religious belief against them. You can't do that. That's not America. Maybe you could do that in Saudi Arabia, but we don't live there. And I don't suggest changing us to be more like Saudi Arabia, which apparently that's what Huckabee and Kim Davis actually want us to be more like. They want us to emulate those countries that have religious law. They want us to be the Christian Sharia, the Christian Saudi Arabia. That's the kind of law that they want. All right. Now, speaking of Christianity, if she was actually following Christian faith, she would also not be approving marriage for people who, as I said, pointed out, gotten a divorce. If she were following her own faith, her marriage wouldn't be considered legal. Her fourth marriage, by the way. How hypocritical is that? Look, both on the parts of not just her, but Mike Huckabee as well. Not realizing all of her faith. And just cherry picking and applying the parts that she wants. Remember, I said yesterday, we all cherry pick. Everybody cherry picks from their respective holy books, and only applies the things that they want to. Because you couldn't apply all of it, because it would be either uncomfortable or downright illegal, and not to mention illogical. Now, finally, here's what's funny about this: Huckabee says that he's willing to go to jail. Well, if she does what her lawyer Matt Staver actually said that she should do, ignore it and go through and continue to block people's marriage licenses, you would end up going back to jail. And actually would test Huckabee's conviction. Now, his conviction, it's actually bullshit. It's bullshit. Because somebody can't actually voluntarily, as far as I know, you can't actually voluntarily serve someone else's sentence. So his idea is essentially political grandstanding. It's meaningless. But look at how everybody in that crowd was just eating it up with a spoon. Oh, they loved it. Oh, Huckabee, you'd go to prison. Oh, that's such a great sentiment. It means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Look, my final point is, it's really funny how completely misinformed about the Constitution these people actually are. These people, they don't get it. They don't get it. And what we're seeing from all this is the last gasp of bigots. Now that they've lost they've lost their fight to deny rights on a national scale to a minority of people who just 6 months ago have been traditionally a whipping post for them in society. Something that they can blame all their problems on and all the problems of the nation. They've lost that, and now they're pissed and they don't know what to do.